Hello everyone, Steve here from Tech Toy Tinker and Retro Arena. I'm going to do a quick video today to show you guys some of the stuff that I've been working on with the AN Neo Retro Power, aka the AN Neo Pro. First thing is that we got some Xbox going on here. As you can see, there's no lag or anything like that. There's vibration though. I haven't configured the controls for this yet because it requires a special way of doing it, but it does work, so I'll show you that. As you can see, the buttons aren't configured. Start button seems to do something, but that's it. This is an Xbox 360 title. Xbox 360 is one of my favorite consoles. I own two of them still to this day. It's not my favorite, but it's one of them. As you can see, none of the buttons work here because they're not set up yet. But there's Xbox 360. The reason why you just see this here and nothing else is because I have to add videos for the background here still. For those systems. This is a cross between my own build and it's got Retro Bat in here as well. I think currently this is using RetroArch. I need to change it to standalone. However, it seems to work just fine, or reasonably fine, considering it's using RetroArch. Standalone wouldn't have had the bezel. However, GameCube's not horribly hard to run. Not stacked up next to some of the systems like Xbox 360 or Xbox. And this particular device is quite powerful. As you can see, normally when you try Smash Bros on the lesser hardware, it's got crackling everywhere. And none of that's happening right now. I don't actually really want to play this, but I think I made my point. DS works fine as well. It's also using a core currently. But it works fine, and there's no reason to change it. I like the bezel for this. You wouldn't necessarily want the DS to take up the entire screen. It would probably look strange. I bet you guys weren't expecting to see Wii U in this video. I should point out that I do own a Wii U, 2 of them, and I own these games, so I don't feel bad for having them on my device or emulating them. I own them. I think it might force me to watch this. Yep, seems to be. Long intro. Most of you probably skipped ahead by now. If I could have skipped that, I would have. So as you can see, it works. I'm only going to play for a minute because the intro was so long, but... That's really loud now. Citra does seem a little slow, but there's still a couple things I can do to get it to run faster, and I don't think it's because of the hardware in this case. Because we're running a lot more demanding things than Citra, and those are fine. It sounded slow in the intro, and it kind of sounds okay now. It could also potentially just be that title. Let's find out. You can see the FPS in the bottom if you care. Personally, I don't care really about the FPS. I care more about, does it work? There's also a RetroArch core you could use to play Citra as well. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I think I can just close it. Now, I want to show you something cool here. If I put the cursor here, you see the game, you hear normal music, put it here. It can tell the difference between the MSU file for the music or the audio and the actual base game, which I thought was a really cool touch. Yeah, I went there. It's no secret I own a Switch. It's been in many of my videos, and I also own this game. Again, don't feel bad emulating something if I went out and bought it. Again, you get the point. It works. It's not perfect, but it works okay. I can play. It's a good thing. I think I have the BIOS put here now. If not, it'll boot me back to ES like every other distro would do. That's the telltale sign you're missing the BIOS. You end up back at the main menu. If you don't like the bezels, you can disable them from the RetroArch GUI, which will be in configuration. I'm showing you this on purpose because it always crackles in other systems, on the other handhelds, I should say. But here, though, I got hit. I also didn't bind the left joystick to analog. You can if you want in RetroArch, once again. But some systems will use the D-pad and the analog as different things, so you're going to have to remember to unbind them if you do that. There's about 100 systems in here, give or take, currently. And there's a couple surprises I still haven't shown you guys yet. Oh, here's PS2. Let's do Ape Escape. Yeah, we'll go with Ape Escape, I think. That's probably the best. I'm trying to tap the screen when it's not supposed to be. So with this, it doesn't direct launch yet. So what you'll have to do is it'll open this for you, this menu. Then you just tap on whatever you want to. I'll just leave it as Grand Theft Auto to show you guys here. And then, of course, you're going to have to give it the path of the BIOS. I do not provide BIOS. I do not provide ROMs. You will have to find out that yourself. I also do own a PS... Actually, I own two PS2s. One fat and one slim. And then now we should be able to launch it. I didn't set the BIOS on purpose just so I could show you guys quickly how to. But now that it's done. I just want to show you guys a minute or two of the game to show you that it's not laggy, it works okay. The problem is I don't think I can skip the titles. Well, maybe I can. This is obviously the PS2 version of it. You could play the Xbox version as well if you were inclined to. Haven't heard this music in a while. Well, technically I heard it in my video with Android, but I mean like the actual PS2 version. Android's a redone, remastered thing.
After 5 years on the East Coast, it's time to go home.
Apparently I can't drive. It's also because I'm seeing the reflection of everything. It actually kind of looks like there's some weird artifacting going on in the background. See this? I don't know if it has to do with the particular dump of the game that I've got, or if it's a setting I need to change on the emulator. I'll show you a different game though, because I was playing, I think it was Ape Escape earlier. To get out of this, you press escape, and then you just close it with that X. It'll take you right back in here. Although,
Sony Computer Entertainment America.
see, no artifacting here. This I wanted to show you guys. Now, this game, as we all know, struggles on damn near every device we've ever done a video on. Watch this. First of all, I'm going to show you no frame skip. Frame skip is off. Full screen, rendering resolution, 4x. You can kind of, I think it's a click thing that does. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to skip the intro. Right click is skip. Actually, maybe I'll do you guys one better, just because someone's going to ask, and I'll turn on the FPS counter. If I can remember where it is. Oh, see, there's filtering at 16. There it is. "60 FPS at 4x.
Return fire!
I think you get the point. Oh, I bet you no one's going to expect this. This does take a minute to load, but surprisingly works. I think I've played about 3 games so far. God of War freezes, but I think that's the fault of the emulator. It gets through the title screen and freezes during the full motion video intro. Certain games work perfectly. Other ones you get a touch of lag here and there, but nothing too bad from my experience thus far. I'm sure there are games that are going to be not working well. I just haven't found them yet because I've only tried a few of them. I don't have an extensive PS3 library. I only own 20 games total, maybe. And I only emulate games I own for obvious reasons. As you can see, it's working fine. Same button to exit as always. That one game wasn't enough. I'll show you the skate game too, just so you can see a second game running. The reason why it's an issue for direct launching is because I have to script it differently. This emulator doesn't exactly load a file, it loads a folder. And so I have to script it to do that. So as a workaround for now until I get there, what I've done was I've had it just direct launch the emulator graphical user interface because you can just tap open and tap your game anyway. So it's, while it does add an extra step, it's not a complicated step by any means. This game vibrates a lot. If I leave it down, it's going to rumble the whole time until I stop. So I'll have to pick it up a little. I suck at this game, just so you know. I mean, I'm sure you can see with your own eyes. You don't need me to tell you that I suck at this. I'm just showing you guys that it works. PS3 is a mixed bag. Some games work good, some games are kind of not great, so don't expect every game to work, but it's not the fault of the hardware. It's the emulator's not completely finished yet, and it's a work in progress, much like the Xbox emulator and many others are. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly normal. This is where you get some configurations from. Dolphin Triforce is here. For those of you that are curious why Triforce, Triforce will allow you to play Mario Kart Arcade GP 1 and 2. This is your RetroArch settings if you need to change anything. As you can see, we're on the latest version here. This is not currently installed because this works better, as you've seen already. Almost done here. I really like this setup here with these themes. Now, for something nobody was expecting at all. Technoparrot. That is something that emulates a lot of the newer arcade stuff that things like MAME and whatnot do not emulate. Technoparrot will be included in the build, but you will have to supply your own games, as I don't supply those things now or ever. Also, it will take a minute to load. That's normal. It's not broken, and once it loads, it works perfectly fine. This particular build that I'll be uploading in the next day or two, I'm going to actually title it Emulationstation A and Neo, specifically because all the emulators are configured for this controller scheme that's set up here. That doesn't mean that you can't use it on a Windows PC or somewhere else. It just simply means that you're going to need to reconfigure your controllers. That's all. A mouse and keyboard will still get the job done to allow you to open emulators and reconfigure things. This is the part that takes a minute. When I first tried to boot this, I thought that it wasn't working, so I just put it down and walked away for a minute to go grab a glass of water and sweep the floor in the kitchen. And about a minute later, I heard the audio start coming out saying that the Mario stuff. It's in Japanese because the console's from our console. The arcade machine is from Japan only. I don't think I've ever seen Mario Kart DX in North America. I could be wrong, but I've never seen it. There's probably, I want to say, about 100 different arcade titles that run under Technoparrot. There's a list on the Technoparrot website, so you can check that out and figure that out, see which ones you do want. But the thing to keep in mind is if you only want to be playing, the early 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, 90s games, then you don't need Technoparrot at all, because this is going to be like 2000s plus stuff. If I was thinking ahead, I probably would have started the video with this and then skipped the entire loading process in the video so you guys didn't have to sit here and listen to me make up stuff to talk about for a minute while it loads. But it is what it is, and it's I one take every video. I don't go back and edit things. I don't go back and change things. So the video as it is on YouTube is exactly how it happens when I'm making the video. It's not going to change now or ever. I kind of prefer that format, and I'm going to keep it. I told you it takes a while, though. It takes long enough that you're about to give up, and then it works. I'm pretty sure it's just this particular game, though, because the authentication check is taking a minute. Aha! There we go. This has quite some differences from what you would see in places like the Mario Kart games on the GameCube and current ones on Switch and whatnot. video went on longer than I intended it to, but it was worth it. I'd like you guys to comment 3030 if you're still watching. That's the time in the video. I'm only going to play for a minute. I just want to show you that it works perfectly fine. I know there's a lot of people out there that have been itching to really play some of the higher end arcade titles, not just the older stuff in MAME. Even some of the newer stuff in MAME like Carnival and things like that really struggle on most systems, and those also work fine here. So the hardware in this is quite impressive. I understand that it's a very expensive handheld, but it's not expensive without any sort of justification. It's well built, it feels nice and heavy, the screen is nice, the hardware is good. Alright, let's do this. Oops, test mode, don't do that. Well, as you can see, it was working fine, and then I pressed test mode. Don't press the triggers. I forgot about that completely. This enters test mode if something's wrong, so you can check stuff out. You only want to be using this and these buttons here. If you have to, you can set those up as well, but for Mario Kart, be careful what you set test up as, or this will happen. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch this whole thing all over again. It's kind of my fault for accidentally pressing the wrong button. I'm just going to go ahead and exit out of here. Oh, also, if this happens, it's because I didn't close TechnoParrot. I clicked on the screen behind it by accident instead. You actually have to close whatever is running to get back to Emulationstation, and it takes a moment. And we're back to where we started. Now, this build is a continuous work in progress. I will be uploading a work in progress beta in the next day or so, which is basically what you've seen in this video. It'll probably have some more tweaks and improvements in it. But this is a general idea of what I'm going for. I'm going to keep adding more systems to it, adding more to the theme. I'm going to keep expanding and expanding upon what can be done. I don't know if I can find it quickly, but there's a Windows listing, which you can use to put your game files in there. The way that works is that you just take you install your Windows games however you want them through Steam, whatever. Then you make a copy of the launcher executive and put the copy into the folder. Or the shortcut, I should say, not the copy. You want a shortcut. Let's see if I can find it quickly and show you. Here, see? These are... I'll launch. I'm not going to play the game, but I'll launch it to show you. These are directly connected to your account, and you can just play them. It's kind of a neat little feature. And I was rather pleasantly surprised to find out games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto work on this platform, or on this handheld. It's quite impressive what it can do. This video is getting really long, guys, and I don't want to continue to do this. I'm going to do another video in a couple of days with more information, more details, but I'm not going to sit here and make an hour-long video. Most people would not watch that. This is probably already too long. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy the video. Take care.